Hello, and what is going on, you guys? Hyperion-Blue-GT here. Welcome back to Gran Turismo 7 part number 34. It's been so long since we have finished Season 1 of the 2022 Gran Turismo World Series. Nations Cup and Manufacturers Cup is going to be a very good, excellent, successful season complete. But right now, on part number 34 is going to be quite turns out for coming up a better idea before moving on to take the next championship event is the World Touring Car Championship 600. But by the way, let's go and do some activities by entered in the world circuits. We'll have to do some circuit experience. Will be a very good, great place to start by continuing on to be filling out with some currency credits to go up by exactly 100 million credits. For this part of the video, this one might have an optional activity we'll have to participate in circuit experience. So first up to Asia-Oceania circuits to have 9 locations is now perfectly will go for some training. Starting out on circuit experience number 1, Broad Bean Raceway is going to be a very good piece of cake. We'll have to go basic. So this one might be a very good full course layout by using the Asia-Oceania Group 4. We'll be doing the basic work by having 2 sectors and a 1-lap attack. But as you may ever saw the last video from the introduction to do some circuit experience on Dragon Trail Seaside and the garden layout is definitely might be a very good recommend to be on the menu book. But I also did 2 courses. It's going to be quite turns out to become basic and well challenges just like GT Sport. So now let's go in and take on Broad Bean Raceway for having a small part for only 1 track. Is going to have to take 2 sectors including a 1-lap attack. We'll step up and go all-wheel drive to have a nice basic layout. We'll go cornering. Sector 1 is going to be a quite very good piece of cake by having the left turn by doing the 90-degree angle. Try to finish a bronze prize or better, and that might have a 10-second record time. We'll have to go with a decimal. So let's do this and go rolling start in about 3 seconds to take sector 1 is practically basic. Here it goes. Alright, ghost car passed by. Well, definitely, it might be quite possible just gonna have to go perfectly to be on the first turn. Sector 1 is always being a piece of cake. Now, gonna have to step up and go for attempt number 2 by having the main important goal. For example, turn 1 in Broad Bean Raceway is all about do some inside cornering. Just try to keep up and aim towards the inside and don't go for the outside. But optionally, it might have to take 10.8 seconds until moving on in Sector 2 is all about doing some perfect line technique to be basic for only beginners. Now let's go for attempt number 3. Let's see how it turns out and go quicker to find my line. Still in the silver, but almost there. Practice makes perfect, and go quicker to have a perfect line to have this part of the turn is all about doing a perfect technique. Let's keep at it and go dive in directly. Okay, looks like that wasn't so hard, but it might have to take 5 attempts by the range. For my part is gonna be doing some major attempts. We'll have to go quicker in about 10 seconds. But here it is, a decimal of 0.658 seconds is now marked on the goal. First sector is doing a technique and braking position at the 90-degree angle. We'll be adding up onto this replay. Watch the example. Alright, looks like not too bad after all. This replay might be quite currently to be optional to be saved as well. That's more like it. Now let's exit out on Sector 1 before entered on to Sector 2. We'll take the next challenge in 24.2 seconds. But this one might be a very tricky course to have. This part of the few turns is going to be going speeder and well quicker to have a better position to go for the line. So let's take on Sector 2 and see how it turns out. Going faster and going less braking is all about doing the second part of this track is going to have to do some hard work attempt. Now let's go right onto the inside of the position and aim towards the inside to be followed onto the yellow highlight. But don't get off the track because it might need some extra speed will be in case. Full stretch, and there you go. Not too shabby because it takes many skills without going off the track will be ends up disqualified for only one attempt. But here's my record, 23.725 seconds. But I just really don't want to get cocky because still might need to do some circuit experience before taking on in the super license is very much important. We'll have to do some training to be on the driving course. Now let's have a good look for the instant replay after taking Sector 2 is marked on the goal. Almost getting off the track to enter the pits and take the final turn. Inside position and go for the right side to be near towards the barrier to be on the right position. Very good job. After taking 2 sectors complete, 2 replay, and now let's go for a 1 lap attack. We'll have to see how perfectly to take 31 seconds to be on the main challenge. I can go for it. This course is going to be a very good natural piece of cake to see how a Group 4 race car is going to have to do some training work to be on 2 sectors. So let's go and take turn 1 on the road. Okay, let's dive in, keep it steady pace, and go right onto the throttle. Take Sector 2 as I go. Alright, looks like gonna have to do the same thing like last time. Perfect line and good cornering. Come on, let's go right in, and there you go. That's the ticket. Gold medal received, 32nd with a decimal of 865 seconds. I have cleared the gold lap attack in Broad Bean Raceway, you guys. Very good, and perfect time is going to be quite good to be successful to be on the course. Now let's see the third part of the replay to be on the first lap. I'm so very amazed to see how basic race car is going to be fully well competitive to be on the training work. Turn 1 is doing well cleared. Now on to sector number 2. Take turn number 2 on the inside position towards turn number 3 to be marked on the inside. It's going to have to do some grinding work to be on the steering. Okay, turn 4 is doing marvelous. Very good. Looks like 30 seconds is going to be quite very good and piece of cake to be saved a replay for the third part. Now, looks like 3 goals clear and Broad Bean Raceway is now mastered. 42,000 credits, and that one might have a mileage. We'll have to go for the distance. Finally acquired all bronze and all gold to have a total reward in 200,000. 40,000 credits is going to be quite marvelous to be added in the total. That's more like it. Looks like 1 course down on Asia-Oceania track. Only a few more to go to have some layouts will be needed to have some quick farming work will be needed. That's more like it. Looks like Broad Bean Raceway is checked. Next up, Kyoto Driving Park will have to go with the Yamagiwa and Miyabi to be at the circuit experience. But first things first, Group 4 race car might have to do some basic work to be on the standard racing training will be needed as well. So let's go with the Miyabi by using the Audi TT Cup 2016. same tactic and same method from Gran Turismo Sport all over again. And this time, giving a very good, excellent driving course, we'll have to do some practice before taking on in the Super License, viewers. Now for the loading times, we'll have to be patient until I'm about to get started out and take on in Miyabi course once again. It also takes 2 sectors to be on the forward section in Miyabi in Kyoto Driving Park, but we know the drill. 1 lap attack after taking 2 sectors clear, we'll have to go step up and master the corners to be on the basics. First up, Sector 1 to be on the main goal time in 24.3 seconds, and sub to be currently on to 3,000 credits will be needed to have a very good, successful, well-earned currency keep up. So let's go for it and take the rolling start in about 3 seconds. Turn 1 is going to be quite very basic to see how the inside cornering between any cars, including race cars, will have to go for any different steering amount to be on the drivetrain. So let's keep going in onto turn number 2 and 3 and crosses through onto the S's before doing some proper position to take the next turn onto number 4. But there you go. There's my perfect record in attempt number 1 without going off the track. 24.25 seconds. Very good, and sector clear on the number 1. Fantastic work, so gonna have to skip that replay to be needed as well for doing a memory log to be needed. There you go. Replay saved, so I have to keep that in mind, just like the last time since I ever raced in the seaside layout. On to sector number 2. This part of the sector in the track is going to be quite very simple. Just going to have to take turn number 3 before take on turn number 4, and here comes turn 5 and 6 is going to be the final corner, viewers. Let's make sure to see how perfect technique will have to go line up by the order. Let's do this and go for the brakes on turn number 4. Stay on track and go for the full stretch. Close call and perfect time in 18.542 seconds. Amazing work. Sector 2 clear. Now for having another round to go for the 1 lap time attack. Very good. Another replay saved. Let's move on and take on for doing 1 lap attack, folks. I'm so pumped up and go basic training to have 1 lap. We'll have to do some practice work on any race cars, and specialty to have different vehicles will be needed to have some perfect time to go on for the full course. So let's grind up onto turn 1. Just like what we did on 2 sectors, we'll have to do some experience. We'll have to go master on this course. Turn 2 and 3 is coming clear, and here comes sector number 2. On to turn number 4. Keep it up and aim towards turn 5 and 6. We'll be at the last corner, so better make sure to pack up with some speed and go for the full stretch. Marvelous and good close call. 41.412 seconds to master the Miyabi course of Kyoto Driving Park. That's how you should probably might have to learn this by using a Group 4 race car to be part in the Manufacturers Cup and Nations Cup in the future. Now, I guess this is definitely might be the time to go for having a 1 lap replay to be see how my performance is going to be quite turns out. But it takes matter of practice when doing some circuit experience on GT Sport and GT7 is going to be doing a different way and same features to have a very good, excellent recommend race car will be suited up and go participate by doing basic by basic in every sector, including 1 lap attack is going to be quite doing some exercise technique. We'll have to do some practice on every opponents to be in the competition event. So there goes turn number 5 and 6, coming in to take the inside of the apex to be on the full stretch. There you go. Looks like my replay performance is perfectly job well done. Now for having another part of the replay to be later on, so I could probably might have to do some free time to be posting up with some best racing moments to be on my journey. But there it goes. Looks like once again, ever since from Broad Bean Raceway is doing perfectly to have 3 gold medals to be well accomplished. Miyabi is complete. 42,000 credits is now stacking up and owns up to have a good total amount to add with 60,000 credits to be on bronze and gold to be at 300,000 credits. That makes a very good exact calculations to be giving a good total amount. 360,000 credits is perfectly to be mastered on gold to be in Miyabi course, so it will be doing much pleasure to have a next course after Miyabi track. We're going to Yamagiwa by using the Mitsubishi Lancer Evolution Group 3 race car. We'll have to take 3 sectors all at once. Let's go intermediate and have some very good well corners by the terrain and elevation to see how chicanes is all about doing some exercise work. But not to mention, after round 9 in Test Season 2 of the Nations Cup in the 2022 series in Test Season 2. But I guess I might have to go with some training to be at Yamagiwa is doing some faster work for the Group 3 cars. Now, let's start out to have Sector 1 to be in 24.7 seconds to reach the goal before moving on in Sector 2. After Sector 2, we're going in on to Sector 3 to be part of this layout before doing a 1-lap attack when you're racing in Yamagiwa. I'm so very good to go and take that main objective time to have a perfect time to go usual. But I bet faster times to be some farming work with some currency credits after spending with some free time is going to have to do some hard work of racing. For instance, taking part in race of turbo sports car and Porsche Cup is absolutely might be a very good valuable farming work to adds up by 50% in clean race bonus. So let's go and take Sector 1. We'll have to go for the challenge. Okay. That was a silver, of course, but if I could probably might have to take turn 1, it's going to have to go hard left before aim towards the apex is going to be quite very strategy to be well important. So let's go attempt number 2 and 2 ghost car will be on the way. Okay, let's keep it up and go on to take turn 2 and 3. Number 4 and go with turn number 5. Uphill onto the S's, we'll have to step up and go well achieved to be quicker to be on the goal. Record update 24.697 seconds. Amazing work and absolutely doing Sector 1 clear to have some elevation to go steeper uphill to be on the S's. We'll have to go sliding turns. So let's proceed to save a replay in case. Okay, that's 1 sector down, 2 more to go. Moving on in Sector 2 to get the goal in 26.2 seconds to be on the main objective time before entered onto Sector 3. For this part of the course after taking Sector 1, you're going in onto the next turn to be on the left position and make sure aim towards the apex. We'll have to go onto the steering left position to have a very good absolutely to be on the straightaway to be down the hill towards the chicane before enter to be in the next sector in number 3. So let's go right in and take Sector 2 in Yamagiwa at Kyoto Driving Park. We'll have to go exercise to practice and go correctly to find your line. Okay, the ghost car will have to go demonstration by the example, but it takes a few advantage for every GT racers who have already know about the corner in this track is gonna have to do some concentration and challenging. Now let's go and take that uphill climbing, and ends up originally to be at 0.535 seconds in 26. But whenever it happens that you might have to ends up in silver, just try to stay focused to go for the goal when you're in Sector 2. That's how it might be quite going much loose up and get very closer to be on the inside corner when entering on Sector 2. So let's try this again for attempt number 2 and keep it up. Gonna have to switch it up onto the hook cam. It's gonna be fully well competitive. Alright, looks like chicane number 1 is going cleared. That's more like it. Always gonna have to keep up and go rushed up by having the chicane in the first part. Will be going well improved to be updated before entered onto Sector 3 by ending up onto the new record. There's 26.86 seconds to end up onto the goal. Sector 2 is checked and complete. Alright then. Now replay saved. Move on in sector number 3 to take the hairpin in 2 parts, including chicane number 2. This one is very tricky before enter to take the 1 lap attack. Main objective time is 42 seconds. Is now going to be a very good important sector. We'll have to step up and go faster to take the goal. By having 2 hairpins and a second chicane is very important for every Gran Turismo racer who are very expert to be at the Yamagiwa section of Kyoto Driving Park. So just gonna have to try to stay on your best lineup position to go for the top position. It's all about concentration when dealing with 2 hairpins, including the second chicane is going to be doing some hard work, and go with the apex will have to do a perfect way to be on the proper braking position. Let's see how it turns out and go right in to be on sector 3 at the start. There's hairpin number 1, go for the brake. Keep at the inside and stay on to the yellow highlight before going down before taking on in chicane number 2. Pull the brake right here, and there's another. Don't lose your grip because we might need that perfect time. We'll have to go correctly to be at the goal position at the record. But that might have a disadvantage for doing this part of attempt number 1. Alright, looks like it might be quite turns out perfectly a-okay. 2 hairpins and a chicane could probably might have to do some hard work to beat that main objective time by under 41 seconds. 0.644 seconds and 41 time is going to be doing perfectly to be marked on the goal. Job well done and golden successful to be on the basic work. Now let's save a replay to be needed, and let's go again for doing a 1 lap attack to mastered in the Yamagiwa track. I'm so pumped up, you guys. I've been willing to go for having some training exercise for doing a 1 lap attack. So let's do this and master everything what you got to see how good you are to learn in this track for only 3 sectors. Let's do this. Okay, turn number 1 is doing great. Stay on the acceleration of the throttle before enter to be on the S turns onto turn number 2. Perfectly and clear for the basic. Don't lose hope on the grip. Here comes sector 2 at the end before enter to be cleared up. But optionally, it might be quite happens if you could probably have to go for the inside cornering. That one might have the opponents will have to go for the advantage while you're being disadvantaged is in the way. So let's go and take that chicane in the first part. Stay at it, stay on top, and go for focusing in Sector 3 to be cleared after taking Sector 2. There goes hairpin number 1, take it. Going down on the steep road before entered to be on chicane number 2. But it takes a matter of hard work if you could probably have to practice well and go experts to be at it. Let's take the full stretch. Let's see how my record could probably have to take a 5-second deadline. So very close. So very close, and ends up on to silver medal in 1 minute 35.234 seconds. Note to self, just go enter Sector 2 after taking Sector 1 clear is going to be a piece of cake. But almost going to have to do some achievement is going to be doing some circuit experience, we'll be doing optional. But of course it is, because we could probably have to earn this achievement after mastered every corners to be on the track to be part of the circuit experience. Learn the track, practice, and race very well. Alright, looks like 2 ghost cars accompany. Don't want to get myself confused. So you see, you guys, by entering Sector 2 by this part of the corner, this one might have to go outside cornering rather than inside to be near towards the apex. That might have a disadvantage and advantage. We'll have to go by 2 types of choices for every GT racers we might have to go for the use. So here comes Sector 3 and take hairpin number 1 to pull the brake. Okay, now stay at it. Final sector, here I go, and step up to be at chicane number 2. Very good and splendid work. Now for the final stretch, record update, and here it is. 1 minute 34.199 seconds. Absolutely job well done and perfect well achieved by successful in circuit experience number 4 in the time attack, as always to be part in number 34 of the full walkthrough in the GT campaign. Splendid work, and here's a replay for doing my best work to beat my current time from the first attempt. So there's turn 1, going in to take that wide open to have a perfect line position to see how great it is. Turn number 1 successful, now going uphill to be on the S's. Take turn 2 and 3, and going in onto turn 4 and 5. Better make sure to count the number of the turn in the Yamagiwa, you guys. Sector 2 entered, and go for turn number 6. Very good work. Now going down the hill and take the first chicane. Although by having 2 hairpins and chicane is very much important when racing in Kyoto Driving Park Yamagiwa, is very well important for every Gran Turismo racers who might have to step up and go competition to stay at it when racing and facing other opponents during the competition in the GT World Series, Nations Cup, and Manufacturers Cup. But it might be quite very good for this part of the replay. We might have to go basic example is going to be doing some marvelous work. There goes chicane number 2 clear, and take on the final hairpin. We'll be at the full stretch at the end of the 1 lap attack. Checker flag clear. Looks like it's finally finished. Circuit experience number 5 is doing a job well done for adding up another replay to be well checked up to be needed. There you go. Looks like I'm on the number 1 rank, and that's where it goes, you guys. Perfect on time and update whenever you're gonna have to stay on top of it to have a perfect time in exactly around 1 minute and 34 seconds by the decimal whenever you'd like to stop in to take some perfect attempts. So let's go exit out, get 48,000 credits, and adds up for the main outcome to be achieved in bronze and gold. 200,000 credits clear in bronze, adds up with 1 million credits. Splendid work. That makes 1.2 million credits is perfectly to be achieved in Yamagiwa at Kyoto Driving Park. Very good job and successful to have this main outcome is going to be doing marvelous. But I can't wait if I might have to add some more currency credits before entered in sport mode. Alright, so looks like moving on to take the next course, high speed ring. I've been waiting for this for having a long time. We'll have to go for doing a time attack for having 3 sectors all at once. But this one is going to be a very good piece of cake for every expert Gran Turismo players who already know about the track. For this part of the circuit experience, we're about to use for the Pagani Sana R 2009, we'll have to take 3 sectors, including a 1-lap attack. We'll have to step up and go well faster to be on the high-speed ring course. Now, let's see how perfectly whenever we have to take a very good proud nostalgia moment from the previous Gran Turismo game's title ever since GT1 back in 1998. Yep. I hope I could probably have to go again. This time, circuit experience for high-speed ring is all about mastered 7 turns to have some series of full straightaways will be going action. Main objective time in sector 1 to go 26.3 seconds. All set and good to go, and this one might be a very good piece of cake to take turn 1 and 2 to have a new variation background layout is going to be turns out to be perfectly. So I hope if I could probably have to beat this current time by entered in turn number 2 is going to be quite very tricky. But we know because it turns out to become more realistic and more faster to see how a good position when entered on turn number 1 passes through onto the yellow highlight, and here comes turn number 2, you guys. Pull the brake and keep it steady. Okay then, so I guess turn number 2 is very challenging, so it might be possible just gonna have to take the outside cornering, but the inside might be quite doing some disadvantage while pulling the brake might be a little bit too much. So let's try this again. Turn number 2 is very tricky, you guys. I have to make sure if I could probably have to go faster and quicker when doing the 6-gear transmission. Let's switch back and go inside the interior view. Alright, looks like that might be quite very good and solid quick piece of cake. Not bad after all. 26.204 seconds. Marvelous work and good job to be on sector 1 before proceed on to sector 2 by taking the S turns is going to be doing the next step. Now if anything happens, so you could probably have to watch the replay whenever you like, or you could probably have to skip the next part of the video before entered on to sector 2. Turn 1 is going faster to be on the inside cornering before take turn number 2. But this part of the example, outside cornering when enter turn 2 is doing some faster and quicker way before entered onto the next sector to take on turn number 3 and 4. So you should probably might have to try it because it might be quite doing faster and quicker to be on a well-adjusted time. So now, replay saved and move on to be in sector number 2 of High Speed Ring. S turns before entering the tunnel. This starting position before you can take on in turn number 2 will have to go straight away to be on turn 3 and 4. S turns is very important when racing in high speed ring. It's all about doing some proud and Gran Turismo moment for every expert players who could probably have to take that very good excellent course. So let's go right in and take turn number 3. Keep it good steady and stay on the inside and take turn 4 on the way. Okay, very good. Now for the tunnel, push up and there you go. 21.337 seconds, marking the goal. Now that's sector 2 clear in high speed, just like taking part in National B license test back from Gran Turismo 1. But not to mention, because this part of this corner in Sector 2 of High Speed Ring is also to be temporarily used for the Mitsubishi FTO GPX and the Nissan Silvia S14. But I mean, that might be a very good, proud nostalgia day moment out there to see it, because if I could probably have to play Gran Turismo 1, so I could probably have to be remembered, if I could probably have to master the S-turns by doing some old-fashioned graphics. Well, of course, the physics is definitely might be turns out to become very well expression to have a retrospective. Alright, looks like that was a very good replay on Sector 2. Moving on, in the final sector is going to be on the perfect time to be on the tunnel before taking turn number 5, 6 through 7. So let's go right in and take that starting position. After taking turn 4, we'll be inside of the tunnel. Let's keep at it and go with turn number 5 and take turn number 6. We'll be at the final corner because there it is. Looks like the Sonda R and the Ghost Car just barely passed through to be on the outside cornering. If I could probably have to keep that in mind. That might be a bronze, so gonna have to keep that remembered if I could probably have to take the outside cornering. Inside might be a very disadvantage, while the outside makes the advantage to be on the opposite. So let's go for attempt number 2 to see how it turns out. Bummer. Looks like just a single contact by the barrier. I had to be very more careful, otherwise it will might have to start over again in the 3rd sector. So let's do it. Attempt number 3. Let's see how it turns out. Don't fail me now. Okay, looks like Silver is perfectly and doing some hard work for taking the final turn. 20.81 seconds. Come on. I'm really gonna have to take that chance to go for the goal until take a time attack for only 1 full lap. Okay, go for the outside and don't... Good grief. Single contact by the barrier. That makes attempt number 4. If I could probably might have to be a little bit gentle to take the outside corner to be on the left. Let's find my line and take that push. Stay on the full straight. There you go. Well, that wasn't so hard. And that makes gold record achieved by 19.844 seconds to be on the new record. Good job, and here comes the full lap attack at high speed ring is now ready to go for the green light. But there might be several spectators around, so they just really want to see the full action. It's all about practice, and doing a test run is going to be so amazed. As you may ever before taking Sector 3, so be very careful to avoid having a contact to get hit by the barrier. Otherwise, you'll be start over and go for attempt number 1, we'll have to take for another one. Replay presentation complete, replay saved, and let's go for sector number 3, clear checked onto 1 lap attack. Main objective time is 1 minute 4.3 seconds on the goal. It all comes down to this, you guys. I could probably take on high speed ring is going to be doing well expert to be achieved. Let's do this. I hope all turns is going to be turned out perfectly to be all. Now let's go and take turn number 1 on the way. Proud work. Now for the outside cornering before enter turn number 2. Splendid work. No contact to be forced to be disqualified to try again. Sector 1 clear. Now go for sector number 2. Turn number 3 on the way. Keep a good proper position and take turn number 4 on the S's. Don't get caught on the outside, so we might have to go for the inside to be on the main focus. Into the tunnel we go. Turn number 5 is going successful. Before taking turn 6, we'll have to do the outside cornering. If I could probably have to take on in Super License 1 at high speed ring, this one is going to be very basic and go advanced. But this one might be very important if I could probably have to take on in the Super License is what I really need to do. Different car and different car classes is going to be doing some different kinds of disciplines. So let's go and take attempt number 2 by having a record to be average is 1 minute 4.603 seconds. Now go for the focus at 0.3 seconds in 4-second amount of time. Okay. Don't want to lose my grip because I have to try to switch up onto the hood cam and kick it up. Alright, very good. Turn 1 clear. Aim towards turn number 2. Here it comes. Be very gentle and almost close enough, but hit the barrier is definitely a weak spot for the Pagani Zonda R. Now for attempt number 3. Let's try to keep things nice and neat. Okay, pull the brake and take the outside onto turn 2. Very good, and absolutely to be well needed, to be adjusted, to be improved. Now for sector 2 on turn number 3. Stay on the inside and go aim towards the cornering to be on turn 4. Solid work, no contact needed. Now for turn 5 and 6. Up I go and take sector number 3. Okay, minor call. I should probably might have to try this again because going way losing a weak spot. So I have to find a perfect opening to be on the outside. Okay, very good. Now let's stay on track and go outside cornering on turn number 2 and 6. Splendid work and close call without getting nervous. Stay at it. Come on, keep up the throttle and go for the tunnel. Okay, this time it's gonna have to go harder and quicker to beat my main lap time. It's gonna have to do some serious work. If I could probably have to do this right in the bag to take the outside cornering on turn 2 and 6. This one might be a very absolutely piece of cake. Will go for the advantage if I could probably have to master this part of the technique. Let's see how it goes. Okay, barely went pushing up and go straight away on to sector 2. Go early brake. Come on. Perfect push. Concentrate. Stay at it. Go for the tunnel to take the next straightaway in the third part. On to turn number 5. And aim towards turn number 6 is doing the final push. Final stretch I go. Let's see how it turns out. So very close. So very close to have that perfect record achieved in the goal. 0.302 seconds. Not giving up yet. Not giving up yet, you guys. I'm so close, and go for the goal is definitely might be all in a day's work. Now let's see how faster and quicker is going to be doing much intense work when taking on turns 2 and 6. Now let's see how things might have to go figured out. Okay, very good. Looks like the ghost car is trying to give me something. Early brake. That might have a perfect line to go for the source. Okay, looks like entering the tunnels without going hit by the barrier. Sector 2 clear. Now go for the outside on turn number 6. Okay, looks like gonna have to cross my fingers of hope. Alright. Looks like finally did it. And absolutely right on the ticket. 1 minute, 4.258 seconds on the goal. Very good and marvelous. Yep, I have successfully conquered the high-speed experience. Now let's have a good look on the instant replay after taking a one-lap attack. So much hard work of racing on the inside and outside by having some differences is going to be going trickier by the difference. There's turn 1 clear and go for the second straightaway on to turn number 2. So you see, by having a difference between the middle and outside of high-speed ring is very challenging to go for the third straightaway onto sector 2 before enter to be on the S turns in turn number 3 and 4. But looks like inside cornering is going to be doing some marvelous work. Thank you Liberty Digital for bringing back high-speed ring, and this is going to be so enjoyable. We'll be doing some faster times and go for the Mega Speed Cup is going to be doing a perfect time. I still really love high-speed ring, you guys. This course is perfect nostalgia. And also for the final stretch, since I have complete lap number 1 to be on the time attack. Perfect record and fully well achieved by having a main outcome is going to be doing some faster works to be on the currency credits to go fill out. Replay saved. Let's go exit out, do 2 times. And there goes 48,000 credits will be adding up, and going currently to be at 4.5 million. But there goes 4.6 million. Excellent work. 80,000 credits to be earned in bronze and 400,000 credits to be earned in all gold. Splendid work, and looks like this video segment is going to be a perfect lucky day for having a nice jump start for having a current update ever since the economy, along with some 3 new rides in the dirt content. So now, climbing up onto 5.1 million credits is going to be going currently to be on the smooth sailing. So I bet part of the video segment might be having some 3 locations on different layouts is going to be very much important. But if I could probably might have to move on to be in the next video, we'll have to take on in Tokyo Expressway. But it might be having some districts to be in inner and outer loop on 6 different layouts by every different variations. So let's go exit out and head over onto sport mode since I have completed the first ever time trial event at Osage Village for the Suzuki B6 Escudo Pikes Peak Special. I almost forgot about it because that might be quite giving a notification heads up notice before the start of the video. Alright, looks like I have successful to be earned on 7,925th place in 1 minute 38.338 seconds to be marked on the goal. Good job, and absolutely well done for myself to have a UDRS Insportec livery is going faster and challenging to be added up onto 7.1 million credits. So very good. And now, if I could probably have to go for doing a second time trial video later on to be at Fuji International Speedway for the SF19 Super Formula with a Honda or Toyota engine variant. But I got this under control, you guys, because that might have a playlist will be needed as well. So let's go back to the garage and have myself for doing a roulette ticket for having a special surprise that I want to show you something because I've been spending for doing some farming work on some more racing. But luckily, I currently to be using with a Porsche 911 RSR Type 991 2017 is perfectly to participate in the Porsche Cup. But here it is. A parts category on the 6-star roulette ticket along with a 5-star is going to be a very good, excellent golden opportunity for the first time since I ever got it. Alright, let's start out with the parts. I guess this is going to be quite come in handy to go with 5 stars. Come on, let's see which part should I get. Alright, looks like this might be quite come in handy. A bore-up S compatible for the Audi TT Coupe 3.2 Quattro 2003. I'll have to hold on to it because that might be quite perfectly to be used as well. But as a promise, so I could probably have to go with a 5-star roulette ticket after spending with some few days on 4-star and 3-star roulette ticket to be on the bronze and silver. But this one is shiny gold to have this good ticket is also to be received on July 7, 2022. So here I go. This one is a fortune opportunity, might have a good promising trust. This time it's going to be some high valuable Gran Turismo credits and a Jaguar F-Type along with a Ford Mustang. Well, I guess that might be quite to be getting up onto 1 million credits because 100,000 credits is definitely might be going solid gold. Alright, very good. So this was my first time ever to use the 5-star roulette ticket. If I ever get a 6-star roulette ticket by the standard, this one might be a very good rare opportunity by having a good chance. Same goes by having parts and engine to be on the 6-star roulette ticket, but it was definitely might be quite commonly to be on a well risk. I have to keep that in mind if I could probably have to go for a different roulette ticket in the next day later on. So, I guess that might be a very good, well enjoyable for having the full walkthrough in part number 34. So what do you guys really think about taking part in circuit experience? Well, of course, I really might need to do some more currency credits to get everything to be filled out, because it might be quite very well important to have some high expensive cars to be needed in the legend car dealership. But as a promise, because that might have a perfect farming work, we'll have to do some circuit experience, we'll have to do some training, and get to know all kinds of corners in every sector on the track. But currently, later on in the next video, if I could probably might have to continue on to be in the second part of circuit experience, will be part to be as a playlist to be optional. But however, if I could probably might have to go for the next championship event later on, because I'll be willing to take on in the World Touring Car Championship 600 to be on the World Car category. Time to wrap this up, you guys. I'm about to get ready to go and take on for the next championship event after taking on for having a second part of circuit experience. But whenever it takes, if I could probably might have to go for the super license, I can go for it. The final graduation is about to be upon us before entering on the license center. We'll be get closer towards the end. So let's go and move on in part number 35 to be on the full walkthrough. Thank you for enjoying watching the video on Gran Turismo 7, you guys. I hope you enjoyed, and don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel for a like, comment, and click the bell for notification on upcoming content videos in the later future. I'll be see you guys next time on Gran Turismo 7, and I look forward to see you again in the next video. Keep on racing, stay clean.